Nacho. Don't mind if I do. Woo. Burrito time. Oh my god. Oh no.
Nah, you're too tense. Just relax and feel it. Biorhythms, yo.
Yes, I have been rewatching Steven Universe, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about chocolate and werewolves. And no, I'm not talking about the YA book with the ending I, hate, or the extremely different live-action adaptation. I'm breaking this review down into 2 sections, because guess what, y'all? It's Christmas time. And when it's Christmas time, we get movies that make you cry. And werewolves. December has a full moon too, and it gets closer every day. But to start things off, let's begin with the chocolate side of things. Wonka. That's right, Willy Wonka, the suggestively named chocolatier that traumatized and intrigued us all, whether you grew up with Gene Wilder or Johnny Depp. There was always a blueberry girl somewhere, and a merry band of Oompa Loompas dancing a little dance as a child drowns in chocolate. It's honestly one of my favorite series of all time, and when I found out they were doing a Cruella-style backstory movie with Hollywood's favorite pretty boy, I just knew I had to be there. And naturally, the whole thing had me craving chocolate. Or maybe it was just the full moon. Being a big fan of many, many collab cafes you get to see pop up in Tokyo all the time, but, never get to try because, we ain't in Tokyo, as well as the Try Not to Eat channel, food themed after a piece of media I really love or am excited to watch makes me really, really happy. And IHOP, of all places, finally gave me the chance to try something straight out of a world of pure imagination. They had this cotton candy lemonade drink with a frosted rim, and I was surprised to see that the cotton candy was actually really fresh and soft. The pancake, while visually stunning, was covered in this bright purple iced coating that was just straight up sugar. And while I can be a pretty big sugar fiend, ever since I, started caring about my health and stuff, I've found myself craving this kind of thing less and less. It was good, don't get me wrong. It just depends on how strong your stomach and bloodstream are. The last item I tried was, of course, the Wonka burger. It was the least directly themed item, which was a little disappointing because now I really want to know what a burger made by this wonderful madman would taste and look like. But all in all, it was really fun, right up my alley, and I hope more movies and shows do this kind of thing in the future. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of tired of fast food restaurants being the only ones to get collabs lately. Now, as for the movie itself, I really loved it. I knew going in this one was going to be hard to mess up for me. Like I said earlier, it's a story I love with a leading actor that's, easy on the eyes. I mean, yeah, now that the internet's pointed out the fact that Jeremy Allen White is like the long-lost heir to the Gene Wilder estate.
Is Jeremy Allen White just a piece of young Gene Wilder that fell off and became sentient?
I'm kind of surprised he wasn't chosen for the role. After all, he's also very easy on the eyes. Does that make Timothée Chalamet a disappointment? No. No, it does not. And while there were some initial concern that, he wasn't a good fit for the role personality-wise after the first trailer...
What are you doing?
When you actually watch the film, you see this man's inner theater child come out full force. Are there moments where it kind of feels like he's forcing it? Also, yes. But I was honestly impressed with how well he ended up pulling this off. He brings young Wonka to life as this wonderfully eccentric man who very much never lost touch with the color and whimsy of childhood. A character trait the film explores more, with a major motive of this character being to bring back the magical feeling he had during his childhood. which makes it clear that while he seems like this cheerful, chocolate-obsessed magician living in his own little world, internally he's very much struggling with how different reality is in comparison to the dreams he chased as a kid. But instead of becoming a depressed, cynical office worker, this man becomes the epitome of chaotic good. Everything I strive to be in person. Sure, this version of the character is a bit toned down in comparison to the chocolatier we know and love, similar to how Disney's Cruella portrays the titular character. But honestly, it does make sense that he'd be more naive and less, you just don't give a fuck later in life. Roll that blueberry girl out to dry, she'll be fine. But yeah, it was a wonderful, wonderful watch. Wonka's chaotic optimism is balanced out by Noodle's more cynical, hopeless disposition, and they end up forming a strong team of unlikely allies to combat the chocolate cartel. You heard me. Every character, even the villains, has more to them than just the surface role they play. Every scene has this charm. While the film is understandably criticized as yet another beloved franchise revisiting money grab scheme, the film's director Paul King, also known for Paddington, makes it very clear just how passionate he is about bringing this story to life, something the cast picks up on right away. And honestly, y'all, if I got the opportunity to bring one of my favorite stories to life in my own way, I'd be over the moon too. Not every prequel, sequel, or remake is this lifeless copy. Sure, the evil overlords at Disney may have given them a bad name, but I don't want people to forget that while CEOs and people at the top are often very much out of touch with humanity in general, the people who actually work on these projects often put their heart and soul into them. In other words,
we are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
now on to the next portion of this video. Werewolves. Man, do I love werewolves.
Merry Christmas! And...
It all started with the movie that traumatized me when I was 10. And then came along a movie that made me fall in love with the concept. Because if you can't beat them, join. All the way to later instances of the movie in pop culture that just kind of charmed me. And I was like, this is actually kind of like a really sweet, cute take on the whole werewolf lore thing.
Dance, dance! Cry, cry! Smash, smash! Hedgehog, hedgehog!
And yeah, I love them. So naturally, when I came across this movie, I knew it would be an instant Christmas classic.
Lucy.
Santa's turned into a werewolf. Might need your help to save Christmas.
I'll grab my jacket.
Kind of.
Run! All of you, run!
So yeah, so Werewolf Santa was actually a lot of fun. I knew when I watched the trailer it was going to be lower budget, kind of like just a fun little B movie. Or, that sounds fucking mean. Look, I'm not going to judge the movie too harshly on like lack of characterization. I know that wasn't their strong suit, and to be honest, they went harder on that area than most of the movies, like within this range I've seen. It's just good, fun, family with major conflicts have to get together to take down Werewolf Santa. It's a lot of fun, and if you love like slasher movies, or if you want like a different kind of Christmas movie that's kind of spooky but you don't want to get too scared, then Werewolf Santa's the movie for you. They definitely did a really good job of capturing the creepy, snowy, Christmas Eve atmosphere where there's a werewolf on the loose and you don't know when it's going to attack Santa. Oh, and yeah, the Santa actor was really good. I felt so bad when he got mauled and, turned into lasagna, but he took it really well, all things considered. I did not expect it to be so self-aware. It was at some points it was clearly making fun of slasher tropes, and I guess at this point a lot of the movies would. But yeah, I wouldn't say it had like Scream vibes, but it was definitely a different take on the typical slasher thing. And you had a lot of strong performances. There's, some awkward dialogue, but like I said, I'm not going to judge the movie too harshly for like lack of characterization, because can you have a slasher Werewolf Santa movie with perfect characterization? yeah, I'd still watch it. But this was fun too. I know this review is a little bit shorter, but there's just not as much to say. My overall review for Werewolf Santa, I'm glad that it exists. Got me in the Christmas spirit. I had a good time in it. 2 holiday movies that will certainly leave you hungry for something.
Chocolate! Chocolate! Chocolate!